Hey everybody, welcome to SoCal Dram Tram. This is your boy Cesar.
And I'm Matt.
And what the HE double hockey sticks are you doing?
Would you shut the hell up, man? I'm trying to go to sleep.
Why?
Because every year we do this. We go through this every single year. Santa's going to come. Last year I didn't believe he was going to come. And then last year he came. He brought a whole bunch of whiskeys. It was super fun. So shut up. I need to go to sleep.
True.
I can hear him. Wow! See, I told you this is why we needed to go to sleep.
All right, yeah, you're right. I always forget every year. He does come through.
He does. Last year I was a little worried, but this year I was not. Sweater, I knew he was going to bring everything. It was awesome. And it got me out of that stupid jammy shirt.
And here we are.
But, folks, it's been a hell of a year. This year flew by, and before we get any further, we just want to say thank you so much for sticking around this year, folks. It was a tough year for the channel. We didn't gain a whole lot of traction, but that's okay. We did it because we love it. We love you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for always sticking around. Again, if you're new here, be sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. If you're a returning viewer, we do appreciate you sticking around. So again, today, folks, we've got our top 5 whiskeys of 2021. That's right, this is the top 5 list. If you didn't see the one last year, you can check that bad boy out up here. And we're just gonna talk a little bit for the next little bit about the whiskeys that we really enjoyed this year. We're gonna go from bottom to top, AKA least favorite to most favorite. And I think Cesar's gonna kick us off on this one. What do you think, Cesar?
I think I will.
Without any further ado, let's get into it. What was your top 5, number 5 for 2021?
Oh, let's see. So, for my number 5, I actually had the Old Ezra 7-year-old.
Ooh, I remember that bottle. That was a fun bottle.
Yep, that was a very
one
fun
of yours,
bottle.
if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was my bottle. Oh man, I love this so much. I remember getting some like spicy cinnamon some spicy wooded cinnamon on the forefront, and then I also remember the back palate just being like a French vanilla creamy sweetness that was just absolutely freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that bottle just being a really solid bourbon option, right? I remember that being a little bit higher proof. Was that a cask strength? I want to say it was.
Yes, it was.
Strength.
Yeah, it was.
So that one, it definitely showed up to play. A hell of a way to kick off 2021, in my opinion. It did not quite make my list, but that one, again, was a really good bottle. For me, coming in at number 5 was Nika from the Barrel.
Ooh.
That's right. That was going to be part of our Japanese whiskey month, which was back kind of like April, May time, I want to say. This was one that kind of just blew us both away, particularly for me. I think I gave this guy a 4. And really what set it apart for me was the fact that what water did to this whiskey. This was one of those whiskeys where a little bit of water really lends to the whiskey. It opens it up. It just kind of loosens up kind of the tightness that's around the whiskey. Really solid flavoring option, and really toted the line on a Japanese whiskey between delicate and, you know, just kind of not quite there, a little watered down. This guy was presented somewhere in the 50%, I want to say 51.4%. Hell of a bottle. If you could find it, couldn't recommend it high enough. That was my number 5. What was your number 4?
My number 4, actually, speaking about Japanese whiskey month, was actually the Kurayoshi 12-year-old.
That was your dad whiskey,
yeah,
right.
The one that my dad got me for my birthday. That was actually really good, and I remember distinctly about that bottle. It tasted like red apple, but not any red apple. Like a red apple you use in high school as a pipe when you're, smoking, when you're smoking your weed, and then you eat the apple because it tasted like a red smoky apple where you smoke out of it and then you start eating it when you get the munchies, and it's like, hey, that's the kind of flavor I got out of this.
It's Christmas time in the SoCal Dram Tram.
Exactly. We're smoking Christmas trees. Now, what about you for your number 4?
Number 4 for me was one that was a new release for 2021. This was the Blue Spot Irish whiskey, cask strength, aged 7 years. This guy
remember that one.
Was a swinging cod, for lack of a better word. Presented close to 59% ABV. This guy was a mix of sherry, bourbon, and Madeira cask. Funny story about the Blue Spot. This guy had been gone for a long time.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
Middleton and Sons, aka why can't I think of the name? The guy who makes all the whiskey in Ireland.
Irish
Jameson,
whiskey.
Mitchell and Sons. They decided to bring this one on back, and the world is better for it.
Yeah,
this
for
whiskey
sure.
was fantastic. Just tropical fruits. I think I even said in the review that this guy was as if you just had a cornucopia of fruit, a fruit bowl that just had all the right stuff. Honeydew melon. So you had those neutral fruits, but you also had like your cantaloupes, really nice pineapple. Nothing was, stepping over the line and fighting over each other. It was just a really nice, high proof Irish whiskey that did not drink like close to the 60%. A little spendy if you can find it, about $100, but again, totally worth the money if you can find it at retail. I think on this guy, I gave this one another 4. This was a really solid option for me. What's your number 3?
My number 3 was actually one with a beautiful color. It was the Glendronach 21-year-old.
Yes.
That was good stuff. I remember it distinctly tasting like plums, but more importantly, it tasted like sweet raisins. Like, you know how you guys get raisins and you eat it and it's sweet, but it's also sour because, it's expired grapes. But if there was no sour note to raisins and it was purely sweet, that's what the Glendronach 21 would taste like to me.
Glendronach 21. Glendronach in general, I can never complain about. It's one of those whiskeys. It's my desert island whiskey. I think last year I gave the 18 my honorable mention. I cannot be objective about that whiskey. I have too many subjective emotions tied to that whiskey, and the 21 is no different. The 21 is an exceptional bottle. It'll set you back. It's about $250 or higher.
At retail. I was like $250 at retail.
But I mean, it's a 21-year-old Scotch, so I also can get behind it. I have no idea if that particular bottling has changed in 2022, or I should say in 2021, in terms of if it's going to be, non-chill filtered or chill filtered. We're not sure yet. There's some crazy stuff going on with Glendronach. But nonetheless, the bottle we reviewed, fantastic for that one.
What about your number 3?
Number 3. All right, so I did it last year. I'm gonna do it again. Then we had a last-minute addition to the top 5.
Oh, yeah.
We only did this one a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't objectively put this closer to number 1, so I threw it right smack dab in the damn middle. Last year was Balcones Lineage. This year it was the Frey Ranch single barrel proof.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Straight bourbon whiskey, baby. That one was fantastic. Frey Ranch coming out of Fallon, Nevada. This was a barrel pick, so not all barrels all the same. This one was from Cypress Craft Beer and Liquor, selected by Sean and Sam over there, as well as the Orange County Bourbon Society. This was a hell of a whiskey. Presented at 62.3%. Bought it for about $100, worth every damn penny.
Yep.
I only gave it a 4. I think you gave it a 4.5. But again, the value that you're getting in that bottle, you got tons of good flavors.
Absolutely.
Honey roasted almonds, just a really solid option, and held up to the water with that high proof without any doubt. Could not recommend Frey Ranch any higher than I already am. So that was my number 3. What are you coming in with your number 2?
Ooh, number 2, might I bring to you, is the one and only Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C920. C920. I remember specifically telling you, I was like, man, you know how rich that white chocolate mocha is from Starbucks? I remember that. Yep. I remember that C920 specifically being like, if Starbucks made a brown sugar mocha, that's exactly what it'll taste like.
Pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing you can get.
I think that's exactly what it'll taste like, minus the alcohol, of course. And it always ceases to amaze me how the C batches from Elijah Craig bring out this outstanding sweetness with how ridiculously high in alcohol proof it is every time. And that's why it blows my mind, and that's why it's my number 2.
Absolutely.
It's so sweet, so good, so rich, so alcohol, so much alcohol, and it's well worth the bang for your buck. Probably the most bang for your buck as far as alcohol percentage for flavor of whiskey that you can get out there.
It's $1 in ABV. I think I spent $65 on that bottle, worth every penny. It's funny because in preparing for this list, I was watching through the reviews that I thought, okay, these could be my top 5. And when I got to Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C920, it was a no-brainer. It was one of the very few 5s that I threw out all year. So that is my number 2 as well. That's the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch C920. I can't agree with you more. It was a fantastic bottling. The C batches have been really solid hitters with us. I remember when we cracked C919 and both of us were like, holy shit.
Reese's
this was an amazing bottle. And then we were like having C920 and we're like, how?
Yeah.
How is it better? It is. How is it better? I don't understand. We ain't gonna talk about C921 because
That didn't make the cut.
But nonetheless, folks, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C920 was a fantastic whiskey.
And I was gonna say, and this is like last year for our top 5. There's one of our top 5s that made the same number for us.
Yeah,
and now this,
Waterford.
yeah. And now this year for our top 5, we have another whiskey. We don't even talk to each other about our top 5s until today. Yeah, we don't talk to each other until the day of our review of what our top 5 is. And now we're 2 for 2. This is the second year where there's another whiskey on our top 5 that's at the same number. That's how you know we're brothers. Woo!
Yeah, I want to say like the Waterford one last year. I think that both came in at number 4 for us. This year, Elijah Craig, we're lining up on number 2.
Yep.
But there is some more crossover in this list. Spoilers. But nonetheless, before we get any further, folks, before we tease out number 1, I just want to throw out an honorable mention, and I know Cesar's going to get into his in a moment as far as his number 1 goes.
Actually, I have honorable mention
okay,
too. So
cool.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to get into my honorable mention, and then you can get into yours because that's just the show we're running right now. But my honorable mention, a couple different reasons. This is one of those, it's a subjective take because this was just a cool thing, a fun milestone that we hit this year. Not only did we get 2 years of doing the SoCal Dram Tram, again, shout out to everybody who's been here since day 1. Whiskey Quest, Whiskey Straight Out, y'all are great.
Colby.
We love you guys. Colby, you're here every week. We love you. I hope you enjoyed that little
Hey,
package.
and whatever your name is, Mr. Too Slow, you too.
Too slow. Thank you.
Yeah.
But seriously though, we appreciate every single one of you. But my honorable mention this year was actually review number 100. That's right. Review number 100 was our Crowded Barrel Alliance series.
That was a good one too.
Andalusia whiskey.
The 2 mini bottles.
Yeah, it was 2 mini bottles. You stack them together, you get a full bottle.
They look nice though.
It was just an exceptional whiskey. Like, it's a fantastic whiskey, but objectively, I couldn't put it on the list for one reason and one reason alone. It's going to be tough to get that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say, oh, go out and buy this, because unless you live in Texas, and even then, you're going to have a hard time getting that specific bottling because it was an independent bottling release.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a fantastic bottle. I cannot recommend Andalusia Whiskey Company any higher than I already have. If you live in Texas or you have the opportunity to try it or buy it, absolutely get it. They know what the hell they're doing out there. You even said it, I think, in our review for that, where we need to move to Mexico and start a distillery.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's my honorable mention for 2021 was the Crowded Barrel Alliance Series Andalusia Whiskey Company. Where are you going on your honorable mention before we get into your number 1? Son?
My honorable soldier mention for the year 2021 is actually the Green Spot Château Louvet de Dumont. That is my honorable mention because I was fighting.
Chateau Le Vaux Barton, by the way. For anybody looking for the bottle he went looking for, it doesn't exist.
You know, I always mix words up. Chateau Louvet de Dumont. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that was an amazing bottle. Like it was definitely a head turner, and I was so close to putting in my top 5, and it just didn't make the cut. But if I had a top 6, it definitely would be in there. And that was so ridiculously good. I was blown away at how much of a difference it really was from the original Green Spot. Because I always think that if you have the same type of, like, so there's a Green Spot already out there, so if you make a Green Spot ... it's not going to be that much different. But this Green Spot Château Louvet de Dumont is actually distinctly way better and ridiculously good from a whiskey that was already great. So that's why it's my honorable mention, because it was a distinct difference. Very well done, very good flavors, good all around.
I'm not going to add too much more on that other than the correction of the name. Like, it's a fantastic whiskey. Yeah. So now we're here. We're at the number 1. Cesar, you got a present to unwrap for us. What was your number 1 whiskey of 2021?
All right, number 1, and here I insert the explosive gift. Hold on, more explosions.
Kill time.
Hold on, folks.
This is thick boy. So I'm trying to get out of the bottle.
Hold on,
out
folks.
of the packaging.
All right, we're probably gonna cut. Until we get the. So, hey, cut. Boop. All right, hey, finally got it out. Yeah.
Holy shit! Power of editing.
That's right, folks. My number 1 is that Frey Ranch bottle pick from Cypress Distillery.
Distillery? Sean and Sam, I hope you're cool with this. You're running a distillery nowadays.
Cypress craft beer.
Experts.
Cypress craft beer. So, folks, this is actually what I've been sipping on the whole time, and that's why this whole review, I've just been enjoying every sip of what I got, because what I got Can you remember that? Nah, just kidding. Is my number one. Yes, he knows. And for all of you out there that knows, if you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry for how weird this is. But yeah, so this Frey Ranch, oh my God, amazing. Rich in every single way. I think I remember saying it was a bourbon cane. It was a candy. It was as if a candy cane.
Yeah, was the thing you said.
Yeah, it was as if a candy cane was made out of really good, rich, sweet bourbon, and then you just liquefy a candy cane shape, freeze it, start sucking on it. There you go. Here's your bourbon cane. It's a bourbon flavored candy cane that tastes magical. Like I said, rich in every way. Blew my mind so much. As a matter of fact, I think I mentioned in that review, it blew my mind, just like the Master's Keep.
Changed.
Yeah, well, just like the Master's Keep from Wild Turkey, and just like that one was to my top 5 last year, which is number 1. This is my number 1 this year. I related it to my top 5 to my number 1 last year, and now it's my number 1 this year. So Frey Ranch, baby. Frey Ranch. You guys gotta try it. For sure.
And just like that, folks, through the power of editing, I now have a Christmas gift. Because if you thought Cesar was going to get to open a gift, you're on damn drugs. And let me tell you something.
And not the drugs Cesar's on.
No, not the drugs. You're on those drugs of like the 5-year-old kid that's like, what do you mean I didn't get a present? My little sister got a present and I get a present? No, that didn't think that's going to happen. You're gay. But nonetheless, quick word again on Frey Ranch. Again, that was my number 3. That's Cesar's number 1. A hell of a bottle to throw there at the top of the list. People can say recency bias, but you know what? The proof is in the whiskey. The whiskey is just damn good. I was going to say pudding, but it didn't seem right. Folks, Cesar gave it his honorable mention, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to put it on Front Street. This whiskey is the whiskey. That is my number 1 for the year. Kind of sad, though. Not a single Scot showed up.
Oh yeah, I know.
This year was not a good year for us Scotch in terms of just like availability and reviewing them. But nonetheless, we did have some good reviews. But this is one that stuck with me all year long. This is one where I had to put it away because every time I saw it, there was no way I was going to drink anything else until I had a glass of this. And I want this thing to last. This is the magic reveal. Hat goes off. Bottle. Oh,
it's easy for you to do it.
You don't need no editing on my bottle, folks. That's right. We've got the Green Spot Chateau Laveau Barton finished in the French Bordeaux wine cask. Folks,
honorable mention.
This whiskey, no honorable mention.
No, my honorable mention.
This one right here, folks. This is one whiskey that is just exceptional. This takes everything that Green Spot does, and Green Spots typically age anywhere from 10 to 12 years in bourbon and sherry cask. I almost said berry cask. Bourbon and sherry cask, and then taking some extra time in French Bordeaux wine cask, anywhere between 1 year to 2 years. And this, folks, I think I said it in the review, this is one of those bottles where it makes me want to go buy the wine. It makes me want to cook a steak dinner and enjoy that wine with it and have a little bit of whiskey for dessert. This one is a fantastic bottling. Here's why I love it in addition to everything I've already said. Hell of a value, $90. You may think, oh, it's a little steep when I can get regular Green Spot for $50 to $55. Spend the extra money. It's totally worth it. I think the thing that I dinged it on during our review, which I think I gave this guy a 4.5 or a 4. I can't remember exactly. I think it was a 4.5. The thing I dinged it on was that it's kind of a semi-annual release. So if you don't know if you could always get it. There's not been a single time where I went to the liquor store and couldn't find this. So you know what? Damn what I said. It's available. You get the bottle because it's damn exceptional whiskey. If you like Irish, if you like Scotch, if you like bourbon, it's going to have recognizable notes for every single drink. Better recognize. Exactly. And I cannot recommend this whiskey enough. It is a gift that you can give to your friends.
Gift from the gods.
You can enjoy for yourself. And again, I didn't think it was going to stick with me this whole year because we reviewed this thing back in like March or April because I think we were doing Irish Whiskey Month. And it stuck with me. Like I said, every time I see it, I can't help but want to drink it. So for me, it's the number 1 with a goddamn bullet.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But do us a favor, folks. Actually, before I even do anything like that, you got anything else you want to add?
I don't
in 2021? Any recaps or anything that you want to say?
Nah, not at all. I just hope you folks out there have been staying healthy and safe and trying new whiskeys.
No, absolutely, folks. Again, we cannot thank you enough for tuning in weekly. For those that do, for those that have come by and haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit subscribe. It's free and fun. We just appreciate it so damn much. This video is running a little bit long, but hey, it's a little bit shorter than last year. So hey, you shaved 5 minutes. That's like getting your best time on the treadmill. But again, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But hit us up in the comments. We want to know, what was your favorite review that we did this year? Was it an Irish? Was it a bourbon? Was it a Scotch? I mean, this was basically staple year for us. We reviewed all your favorite whiskeys that are on the bottom shelf or mid shelf that you probably drink 100 bottles of. But nonetheless, folks, stay safe, drink well. Guess what? A couple days from now, 3 days, it's Christmas. Merry freaking Christmas, y'all. We made it through another year.
Yes, we did.
We're going to keep going into 2022, and we're going to roll out.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the Autobots. Autobots? Autobots. Cheers, brother. All aboard. Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe. You come on down to Santa's Lounge. We're going to tell you one thing. We're going to show you nothing but love with the red coat.